Hey guys, so let's go over the warm up for today. Today's Wednesday. Hopefully, you had a chance to work on it and felt pretty confident in some of your answers. So, let's go over the first one. So, the first one just says solve. So, I've got this negative 85 over 5. So, remember the three forms of division we have with Ned and the donkey? We can have Ned riding the donkey, Ned can be leading the donkey, and then Ned always goes in the house and the donkey always goes outside. So if we were solving this, we can go ahead and put Ned in the house. So 85 is my Ned because Ned's always riding on top. And then 5 is my donkey. He goes outside. So I know that 5 can go into 8 one time. 1 times 5 is 5. 8 minus 5 is 3. Then I know 3 is less than 5, so we're good. And then bring down the 5. 5 goes into 35 7 times. And 7 times 5 is 35. So we are done. And I can't forget about this negative up front. I got to add it back on. So my answer is negative 17. You could have also, if you wanted to, you could have just reduced top and bottom by 5. That's the greatest common factor, and gone that way as well. You would have gotten the same answer and had to divide it out as well. But that works too. Next one, we have some multiplication, and I know it's multiplication because I've got these parentheses and there's nothing in between them. So I know there's two multiplication problems there. Remember when we have GEMDAS, we have to work left to right. So I'm going to do the first multiplication, which is negative 2 times positive 4. So I forget about the negative and I just multiply 2 times 4, which is 8. Then I do Dorito Man. I have negative 2. Used a negative, positive 4, used a positive, so I'm left with a negative, which means my answer has to be negative. Then I'm going to bring down this negative 6. Again, they're squished next to each other, which means they're multiplying. And I'm going to multiply just like normal, pretend the negatives aren't there. And I know 8 times 6 is 48. Using Dorito Man, I know that I've got a negative 8 and a negative 6, so I'm left with positive, so it's going to be positive 48. So that's the first one. Let's look at the next box. Okay, we're going to be multiplying. So remember with fractions, they're so much easier in decimals to multiply because we can just multiply straight across. Tops multiply by tops and bottoms multiply by bottoms. So I've got 8 times 2 is 16. 2 times 11 is 22. Then I always check and see if I can simplify. So I'm going to see what I can simplify by. And I see they're both even, so I'm going to try dividing by 2. So I'm going to divide top and bottom by 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8. And 22 divided by 2 is 11. So 8 over 11. And I know I'm done because 11's prime and 11 can't fit into 8. So 8 elevenths. Then I'm doing this next one. And I've got mixed numbers, which is a big no-no. Remember our song, tops and bottoms, no mixed numbers, no mixed numbers. Make it improper, multiply or divide, multiply or divide. So I've got to take these and I've got to do the Texas two-step, the around the world, make the big C. There's so many different ways. Whatever way works best with you. So I'm going to do Texas. I do 6 times 2 first, which is 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. So that's my new numerator. My denominator never changes. So it started at 6 and it's going to stay 6. Then I'm multiplying that by this number. I've got to do my Texas two-step. So 8 times 3 is 24. 24 plus 3 is 27. That's my new numerator. My denominator started 8 and it's staying 8. It never changes. I still have 8 pieces. Okay, now I can go straight across and multiply. So 13 times 27, which I have no idea what that is. So I'm going to come over here and make a little scratch work. 13 times 27. So I've got 7 times 3, which is 21. So the 1 goes down here, 2 goes up here. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 2 is 9. Always remember to do your 0. You can't forget it. You gotta have that placeholder 0. Okay, then I'm gonna move on to the next. I've got 2 times 3, which is 6. And then 2 times 1, which is just 2. And then I add everything up. So 1 plus 0 is 0. 9 plus 6 is 15. Carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. So 350. Just kidding. Y'all see my error? Miss Neal can't add. 1 plus 0 is not 0, by the way. 1 plus 0 is 1. There we go. That should be better. Okay, so then I have 6 times 8, which is 48. So there's my answer. And if you wanted to, we could turn this back into a mixed number. So in order to do that, we do like Ned and the donkey, and we do Nito to go to fraction and back into it, decimal, which we're going to stop before we go all the way into decimal. But we're going to do Nito to figure that out. Okay, so if we were to do Nito with this one, I'm running out of room here. I've got 351 on the inside and 48 on the outside. So 48 can't go into 3. 48 can't go into 35, so it's got to go into 351. So 48's really close to 50, so I'm thinking let's try. I know 50 can go into 100 twice, and I've got 350. So let's try doing it like 7 times. Just see what happens. So 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 5 is 33. So 336, I can't add another 48 because then it'll be over. So I'm going to subtract 336. 1 minus 6, I can't do it. I got to borrow. Hello, let me borrow. So he becomes a 4. This guy becomes an 11. 11 minus 6 is 5. 4 minus 3 is 1, and 3 minus 3 is 0. Okay, so this goes in there 7 times. So we're going to use all of this stuff to help us make our new mixed number. Okay, so this number up here, that's our new big number. So our new big number is 7. Our new numerator is this remainder down here, 15. And our denominator never changes. It stays the same. So it was 48, it stays 48. So 7 and 15, 48ths. Kind of ugly, but it works. Man, that one had to do a lot of math. Okay. Fun times. So it wants us to see Billy completed 56 out of the 90 laps. And we want to find the decimal for these. Hey, now that I'm looking at it, Miss Neal is just messing up all over the place. This number right here is 1548. So I just realized that's divisible by 3. So I can divide top and bottom by 3. This is the never-ending problem. So 15 divided by 3 is 5. And 48 divided by 3 is 16. So really, now that you can't read anything, my answer is 7 and 5/16. There's the final answer. Sorry, y'all. I didn't realize it could be reduced anymore. Now we're done because it's prime. 5's prime and 5 can't go into 16. This is why you always check. Okay. So 56, we're in math class, circle it. Out of the 90, we're in math class, circle it. So I'm going to make a fraction first. Always make a fraction and then we'll go from there. So I've got 56 over 90. Now I start seeing if I can simplify. That'll help us on our division if we can simplify. Well, I see they're both even. So let's go ahead and divide by 2. Right? So I've got 56 and I'm going to divide it by 2. And I get 28. Again, you could work out a little division problem on the side if you needed it. And 90 divided by 2 is going to be 45. And I don't think there's anything I can divide into both of those. So I think we are done there, but we still have to turn it into a decimal. Remember to go from fraction to decimal, our handy dandy F, D, P, triangle you should already have on your paper from Monday. We're going from fraction down to decimal. That's neato. Neato. So we're going to do numerator in, denominator out. So numerator in, denominator out. Okay, 45 can't go into 2. It can't go into 28. So I need to add another 0, but I also have to add a decimal up here. So now I'm seeing how many times it can go into 280. So again, 45 is really close to 50. So I'm thinking around 6 times just by guesstimating. You could make a hashtag if you want, but it's kind of a big number to make a hashtag. So 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 4 is 24. 25, 26, 27. So 270, which we did good. 270. So that's 6 times. When I subtract, 0 minus 0 is 0. 8 minus 7 is 1. 2 minus 2 is 0. So I've got 10. Then I'm adding another 0, bringing it down. 45 goes into 100. Well, I know 50 goes into 100 twice, so let's try that. And I know 45 times 2 is 90 because we just divided by 2. And I subtract, and look, I'm going to get 10 again. And if I bring down another 0, it's going to keep going the process forever. So this 2 is repeating. It has that repeating symbol. So our decimal is 0 and 62 hundredths repeating. 0, 62 hundredths repeating. Okay? Kelly finished 18 of the 54 tests. We're in math class. Circle those numbers. So I'm going to make my fractions 18 over 54. Simplify to make my division a little bit easier. So let's divide by, you could divide by 2. I'm going to go ahead and divide by 9. I'm going to get to Walmart quicker. So I've got 18 divided by 9, which is 2. And then I've got 54 divided by 9, which is 6. And then I see they're both even again, so I'm going to divide by 2, top and bottom. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So I have 1/3. Okay, that's a benchmark fraction, so if you know it, you don't have to do neato. And I know 1/3 is 0.3 repeating, so 0 and 3/10 repeating. It goes on and on forever. So that's my final answer. There's a lot of work on those warm-ups today. Geez, you probably needed another sheet of paper for that. Bye, y'all.